no one is ever really prepared for the truth to be hidden for too long, especially when that truth concerns two of the most beloved, most guarded, and most revered names in South Korean entertainment, Kim Taehyung and Jungkook. Behind their charming smiles, behind the loving looks on stage, and behind the togetherness that seemed unshakable, it turned out that something was hidden that had only been a small rumor among fans. Today, the rumors are surfacing like a secret explosion that can no longer be contained. Armies around the world were silent, transfixed, and some even teary-eyed when the shocking information first spread from a mysterious post on an online platform that went viral. The post contained one short sentence, but enough to stop the heartbeat of anyone reading it. Something happened between Taehyung and Jungkook, and the world will know today. It didn't take long. The timeline was full of speculation. Hashtags suddenly rose to the ranks of global trending. Army discussion groups suddenly boisterous. And all the questions boiled down to one thing. What really happened? The news comes from a former HYB staffer who claimed to have kept the recordings and documents secret for years. He admitted that his close relationship with the BTS management team gave him direct access to things that the media never even knew about. At first, many thought that this was just a cheap maneuver to attract attention. But then, she released one photo. One photo is blurry, yet clear enough to change everything. In the photo, Taehyung and Jungkook are sitting together in an unfamiliar studio. Their faces look serious. Unlike their usual portrait of togetherness that looks relaxed or cheerful, this time the expression of both feels heavy. On the table in front of them was a stack of papers that looked like letters or contracts. And the most surprising? The paper was handwritten, not a digital printout like most official HYBE documents. The observant army immediately dissected every detail of the picture. And this is where it all began. Point one by one pieces of information began to unfold. As it turns out, all this time, Taehyung and Jungkook have been working on a secret project that HYBE's top management doesn't even know about. They used the break between their military schedules and their individual schedules to work on something touted as a legacy project. No one knows for sure what it is, but rumor has it that the project contains personal works that they have kept for years: songs, poems, video cuts, even a never-released recording of a heartfelt confession. But even more astonishing is the reason they keep it a secret. From the documents leaked by the former staff, it is known that Taehyung and Jungkook submitted the project officially to HYB 2 years ago. But their request was denied. The reason? It was too personal, too emotional, and considered incompatible with the group's commercial image. The rejection left both disappointed, and they eventually decided to continue with the project anyway. Secretly, the decision brought great consequences. One of the internal documents even mentions that Taehyung once threatened to leave the agency if this project continued to be hindered. Jungkook, who is known to be more reserved and patient, wrote in one of his handwritten letters, "I can't let this dream of ours die just because of the numbers in the financial statements. We don't make music for numbers. We make it for the liver." The letter thrilled the soul of anyone who read it. And when the letter was read out in a short video that was also leaked to the public, with Jungkook's real voice, millions of fans couldn't help but cry. Army, who so far only knew their side of the stage, is now faced with a bitter truth that behind the luster of success, there is struggle, there is resistance, and there are invisible sacrifices. And even more painful, they live it in silence. Together, the relationship between Taehyung and Jungkook has become a hot topic. Many began to question, was their closeness so far limited only to friendship? Or is there something deeper, which they have been hiding for the sake of maintaining the harmony of the group? Some longtime fans are starting to relive old moments. Hugs, whispers, meaningful looks, all now seen with new glasses. Are these clues that we never know? But what shook things up the most was when a final video went viral, a 12-minute clip believed to be part of their legacy project. In the video, Taehyung and Jungkook sit together in a small studio, surrounded by old instruments and cameras. They spoke slowly, looked at each other, and in the end, Taehyung uttered a sentence that brought the world to a standstill for a moment. "If it's all over tomorrow, I want you to know that I'm happy to have lived it with you. I want everyone to know who you really are. And I want them to know that our biggest secret isn't who we are, but why do we choose silence?" Jungkook just smiled and replied in a low voice, "Because sometimes The most valuable thing is what is not said. The video closes with one unreleased song, a song that sounds like a farewell letter or maybe a confession. Their voices united in such deep harmony, as if penetrating the soul of anyone who heard them. Army is no longer just waiting for new music or a comeback. They are waiting for an answer. They are waiting for honesty. And they are waiting for whether this secret, which has been partially opened, will really be fully revealed. This scandal has broken the boundaries of fandom. The mainstream media, which has only highlighted their commercial achievements, has now begun to dig into the personal side that has been locked tightly behind the management fence. In a short time, Taehyung and Jungkook's names graced every major Korean and international news site. But what makes it all feel different is how divided public opinion is. Not all can easily accept what is happening. Most of the army chose to stand behind them. The hashtags protect Taekook, let them speak, and Taekook legacy instantly dominated the world's trending topics. The comments that flooded social media were a heartfelt form of unconditional love. "We love them not for their image, but for their courage," wrote an army man from the Philippines. "Whatever they have kept so far, we know it must be important because they keep it with tears," said another from Brazil. However, as usual, not all voted in favor. Some began to refer to the secret project as a form of defiance against the agency. There are those who regret how both play the line between professionalism and intimacy. There were even voices that began to speculate, wildly peppering the story with rumors that led to personal relationships that went beyond the boundaries of friendship. HYBE finally responded. However, their statements do not bring calm, quite the opposite. Until now, we do not know in detail about the existence of the project in question. We will conduct an internal investigation to investigate any non-official activity involving our artists. The brief statement served as new fuel for the army's unease. Many felt HYBE was too rigid, too quickly defensive, and seemed to close the door to dialogue with their own artists. Especially when on the same day, one of the Korean media accounts uploaded a report stating that the original files of Taehyung and Jungkook's legacy project had now been seized by the agency for further examination. What happened afterwards made the public shivered. In the early hours of the morning, a senior music producer known to have worked closely with BTS uploaded a message that he later deleted within an hour. But as always, the internet never sleeps. Screenshots are widespread. In the message it is written, "I heard one of their songs from the project. Songs are not made for the market, but for the wound. I don't know if the world is ready to hear it. But to be sure, HYBE never really listened. Songs, Luca, and the last sentence, HYBE never really listened. All of them become triggers for new emotional outbursts. Thousands of fans flooded HYBE's official account with messages, asking them to let Taehyung and Jungkook release their works independently. Some even created digital petitions that more than 2 million people signed in just 48 hours. But behind all the chaos, the two names at the center of this storm did not sound at all. There are no posts from Taehyung. There was no reaction from Jungkook. Their silence only amplifies speculation. Are they deliberately silent as a form of resistance?